Hi, I'm Steve with Locking Security Mailbox, and today I want to tell you about our Courier Dropbox or Parcel Dropbox. It's item SB4975-675. Now, as you can see, it's a rather large Dropbox, and of course, the larger the Dropbox means two things. You can drop larger items into it, and it has a larger storage capacity. So you can use this for envelopes. If you want to, like say you have a high volume of payment envelopes, then it would still work for that. You can't reach into it because of the anti-phishing baffles that are in there, and we'll take a look at those in a moment. And then again, it has the larger storage capacity. You can also drop larger items in it, like US postal boxes. This is a shoebox style one. It's 7.5 by a little over 5 by 14 long, and this particular one will easily go inside and drop down. Also larger envelopes, smaller boxes, all of those will easily drop inside. Let me tell you a little bit about some of the features of it. So as you can see, it's got the pull handle here to open and close it. It's got a rather large rain guard on it, and that rain guard keeps water obviously from falling down and getting inside the drop box. There's a second rain guard over the access door, and so that just keeps the water from spilling down and getting your items wet. Now that's not to say that extremely hard driven rain might force a little bit of water in there, but for the most part your items are going to stay dry. So some of the details on this: it's 20 inches wide. Okay, so the drop compartment's a little bit smaller than that, as you can see. It goes in, we'll talk about that in a minute. 20 inches wide, 49 inches high, but the drop door is just below 48, so it meets ADA requirements. And it's 26 inches deep. So it's really big drop box. Now the drop opening on it is 15 3/4 wide, 7 inches high, and about 14 inches deep. So you can get a really good sized package in there. Really long packages, like say a cylinder tube that is maybe 24 inches, that's not going to fit in there. The baffle is going to keep it from dropping in there. So let's talk a little bit about the anti-phishing baffle. That keeps not only people from phishing, but also keeps people from reaching in. So as you can see, I can reach my arm straight in here. But there's this, as it goes in, it curves up. And then on the back side, inside of it, there's another steel plate that's welded that goes diagonally down, so that when this opens and closes, it keeps someone from reaching beyond that. So it's really well designed, and that you can't easily, I don't even know, I've tried to reach down beyond it, but I can get my fingertips in there, but I'm getting to maybe right here, whereas the rest of the capacity of the storage you can't reach. And so that receptacle area, this storage compartment, let me give you a little details on that. It's about 19 inches wide, 28 inches high, and 21 inches deep. So, that's a really big area of storage of capacity. So let's talk a little bit about the steel. It's made out of 14 gauge steel. So if you're not familiar with steel gauges, the smaller the number, the thicker the steel. So if you were to go to a hardware store, or if you just have a regular mailbox out and you were to buy a mailbox at a hardware store, those are made typically out of like a 20 gauge or a 28 gauge, or sometimes even 30 gauge steel. So it's really thin steel. The 14 gauge, again, as that number gets smaller, it gets thicker. So again, the next one after that would be like a 12 gauge, it's even thicker. The 14 gauge is really stout. You've got a lot of folds here in the steel, and that's what gives it its strength and durability. So it's really well thought out and well designed. For mounting, the feet down here, we'll look at those closely. They have a folded steel foot, and then at the bottom of that foot is a flat plate with a hole drilled into it. And what that hole allows you to do is to bolt it to the ground. And so basically what you do, it's really not brain surgery to secure it to the ground. But what you would do is you would set it where you want it. You would mark those holes with like a pin onto the cement. Then you would move it out of the way. You would drill down into the ground, and you would put some cement anchor bolts into the ground. You would set it on there, and then you would tighten those up and secure it to the ground. And then when someone were trying to undo those, it would take a lot of time. You can even put some thread lock on those bolts to keep them secure, or even bend the heads of those bolts, the bolts over, and just make it that much more secure. The lock, let's talk a little bit about the lock. The way the lock is designed is when you turn the key, it not only does it turn the cam, and the cam is that piece of steel that turns, that catches, but it also has two arms that come over, much like a safe, that go in behind this steel to hold it closed. So it's holding it here with the cam, and then two small bolts come across here, and that keeps someone from prying. Now, that's not to say if someone were to get a 6-foot crowbar and a lot of time, they wouldn't be able to work into it. But just the average person with a screwdriver or a small crowbar, their hands, they're not going to get into it. It does come with 3 keys. Additional keys can be purchased. Let's talk a little bit about the paint. So it's got a powder-coated paint. It does come in 3 colors, and then you can just get it primered. So it comes in gray. This is the gray color here. You also have the option for blue or white. And then again, if you get a primer paint, that means we have not put the second coat on it, and you would paint it whatever color you wanted to. It'd just be ready for that. And then of course we do custom colors for an additional fee, and that begins probably up in the $100, $120, $150 range, somewhere in there, for us to do a custom paint job on it. Really great drop box. Again, let me show you some of the capacity. Again, this box easily drops down inside there. That's probably about one of the largest size boxes. Fits in there. We've got smaller boxes, easily drops inside. Large envelopes. This is bigger than a manila envelope. Easily drops down inside. So as for capacity and as for usability, there's really a wide range. Again, from payment envelopes all the way down to larger boxes. Reinforced hinge down here on the bottom. Again, lock it up and you walk away and you can have peace of mind. Those who can use it, really this has unlimited possibilities. If you're a school and you need for people to drop off homework, there's students to drop homework, lost items, we get those type of requests. Hospitals who need drop boxes, accounting offices who have their customers will drop off large, thick envelopes full of their tax information, can easily be dropped into their parcels. You can even use this for the home. Let's say you receive a lot of Amazon packages. You could put this, if you had a rather large porch, you could put this on the porch and put Amazon drop here or whatever, and it would work really, really great for that. So again, this is our courier drop box, parcel drop box, item number SB4975-675, made of 14 gauge steel, really large drop opening there, large storage capacity, easily bolts to the ground, and really works well for just about any situation where you need to receive either large packages or a high volume of, let's say, payment envelopes. If you are a utility company and you receive payments, or even we've even had some cities and towns use it as a ballot drop box, so it works really well for that as well. Impervious to any type of water, rain, storms. It's got the double rain guard, large size. And if this doesn't meet your needs, we do custom make items as well. Say this is a little bit too big for you, or it's not big enough. We can make items larger, we can make items smaller. Usually the turnaround time is anywhere from 3 weeks to 7 weeks, depending on how busy we are. The locking security mailbox can take care of your package, mail needs without any trouble. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email.